Hi students, so Ismail is here, the motivational speaker and the managing director of Eagle English Language Academy. Today I have a grammar video because a lot of students asked me to have a video on it, so here it is. And today I'm going to introduce you modal verbs, because a lot of students asked me to have a video on it. And in this short clip, I'm going to explain you the 9 modal verbs. So let's get started. Firstly, what are modal verbs? Modal verbs are used with verbs to express different things like ability, prohibition, obligation, and possibility. Modal verbs are auxiliary verbs and also called helping verbs. Modal verbs are very, very important to learn, and modal verbs are very special because they follow the strict set of rules and they use in a special way. And today I'm going to understand you on it. So if you don't know about modal verbs, if I ask a question from every one of you to tell me the 9 modal verbs, would you be able to tell me? If you're able to tell me, so that's great and you are a fantastic English learner. If you don't know what are modal verbs, so be connected with me and watch this video completely. And I have a very, very special and easy method for learning them. So in 9 modal verbs, we have 3 M's, we have 2 W's, 2 C's, and 2 S's. And 3 M's, we have may, might, and must. And 2 W's, we have will and would. And 2 C's, we have can and could. And at last, we have 2 S's, and 2 S's, we have shall and should. But remember, will and would are very, very important because they use in spoken or informal language and they can be contracted. So the majority of modal verbs they use in spoken or informal language. And I will say that and today I'm going to understand you on these all modal verbs. But firstly, we have to talk about its rules. The first rule is infinitive comes after modal verb. Like we say, for example, he can speak English. I must go home. And rule number 2, modal verbs take no s. Like we say, she can play cricket. She can go home. We can say like that, he must read, listen. Rule number 3, modal verbs don't change their form according to tense. They don't have past and they don't have future tense. So the easy way is to remember that they don't change. Rule number 4, we use modal verbs in negative sentences like we do with other auxiliary verbs. For subject plus modal verbs plus not plus verb. Like we say, he must not smoke cigarette. I cannot speak English. She cannot speak French. And with that, we must have to learn contraction for negative sentences of all modal verbs. So the first is we have 3 M's. In 3 M's, we have may. So may not, no contraction. Might not, mightn't. And with that, must not, mustn't. We have 2 W's, will not, won't. Would not, wouldn't. We have 2 C's, can, cannot, can't. Could not, couldn't. We have 2 S's, shall not, shan't. Should not, and shouldn't. And rule number 5, we use modal verbs in interrogative sentences like we do with other auxiliary verbs. Modal verbs plus subject plus verb. Like we say, can we speak English? May I come in, sir? So same like it, these were the rules. So look at the individual modal verbs, how to use them, when to use them, where to use them. So let's have a look to firstly may, because firstly we have 3 M's. And 3 M's, firstly we have may. So may can be used to show a possibility. Like I may be late today, she may be late today. Or may can also be used for permission. May I come in, sir? May I go home? May I go to shower? And secondly, let's have a look to might. Might can also be used, to show possibility. Like we say, she might be happy, she might be speaking English. And thirdly, we have must. Must can be used to show, probability. Like she must be happy. And must can also be used to show, necessity or prohibition. I must go home right now. Or we can say, you must not to smoke cigarette here. Now we have W family. In W family, first of all, we have well. So well can be used to ask, to indicate future time. Like we say, I will learn English soon. And secondly, will can also be used to ask a polite question. Like we say, will you help me, please? In W's family, we have, secondly, we have would. So would can also be used to ask a polite question. Like we say, would you help me, please, to do this work? And secondly, would can also be used for desire. Like we say, I would have a cup of tea. Now we have C's family. In C's family, first of all, we have can. So can be used, to show ability and request. In ability, we say like, I can speak English, I can go bazaar, but I cannot speak French. And request, we say like, can I take your pen, please? Can you go with me to Peshawar? And secondly, we have could. So could can be used, to show past action. Like we say, I could help you, but I missed my opportunity. Could can also be used to show, to ask polite question. Could I call you? And could can also be used, for possibility. Like we say, she could be here. Now we have SS family. In SS family, first of all, we have shall. So shall can be used to make an offer, confirmation, or promises. Like we say, for example, you should be the first person to know. And secondly, we have should. So should is used to recommend or uncertain prediction. Like we say, she should be at home soon. So students, this was a fantastic piece of lecture on modal verbs. Wish you all the best and wait for coming video. God bless you all.